Hey, my name's Julian Faust. Welcome to the Profits and Panels podcast. Today I'm joined by Laetitia Mignardo, the CEO and founder of Ellen Power Drops. Laetitia, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, thank you, Julian, for having me.
Of
Nice to meet
course, yeah, of course. And I'd love to start by talking a little bit about how you actually got started with your current business. Can you tell us where you began from and how you got to where you are today?
Yeah, it sounds good. So basically, it's been a year now that I'm doing what I'm doing. What brings me here is so I have a background like as an engineer, so it's like pretty much different than what I'm doing right now. I'm more like on the finance and operation side of the business. But I was CEO of a solar EPC here in New York for almost 3 years, and then this company like goes more to the south of just business developer. My interest for operation was like kind of not as much as it was, and I started to think about like what about I kind of go my own road. I built some system and tools with them, and like I was like that there were interest for the company to learn more about like what I was doing and how I was doing it, and I started to work with clients like this, and then here we are 1 year later working with different companies on this kind of business. So basically the business is like I'm bridging in between operation and finance, a bit of project management too, and I'm helping company to when they want to grow. Basically it's either early startup or business that are more like already like installed, but they want to grow and they need my help basically building either financial projection model, and most importantly like tying together the project management and the accounting phase of it to know where they're going, where they are, etc.
Got it, yeah. And after you began and started your business, how were you able to identify your target market and the people that could be of use for your services?
So I was pretty lucky until now, to be honest. Like I didn't really get to chase to get clients. It's just like by the words, like people knew that I was doing that, and like talking to some people say like, oh, we can definitely use basically what you built at Urban Energy, like my previous company, and like can you look into our stuff and see if you can help. And this is how it started with one company and then another. And I'm also like very still much in touch with the former CEO of the company I was working with, and like he has also a big network. So like it comes like from talking to people and talking to people, and like it goes to where I am. But it seems like it's pretty much a niche, and like not a lot of people are bridging this operation finance thing. So I'm not a CFO, I'm more a CEO with a lot of finance plugging into it. And I think like the best value is like I really understand how the project, especially in clean tech and solar, are working, and so I know what trigger one thing or another.
And are you still going about using the word of mouth, or have you tried to expand to other operations for generating more leads on your side?
Yeah, I'm starting to do that, just in case, because you never know, and like it's consulting based, so you never really know when your contracts will be over. It depends on how long, how much work they need from you, and like how long they can basically have you around. So it's always good to like, to be like around and like look for more leads just in case, and like build up my own network also.
Okay, yeah, got it. And within the business right now, what's the main challenge that you're facing every day that you keep on dealing with?
I would say like it may be a weird one, but I'm the only one in the business. I'm it's just like a solo, solo thing. So sometimes it's just like feel a bit lonely, and like but I'm happy to always pick my client brain on the thing. So when you can work with them like really as a team, that's great. When you're more on your own, sometimes you're like, hey, I wish I had someone like to just like, hey, what do you think about it? So I would say this is the most challenging thing. Some small things can be like now, I think this is the era, but like really you can get help with AI and like with all the tools that we have around. So I don't think I would have been able to do like exactly what I'm doing right now with the same power even like 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
So do you find yourself connecting with people more than maybe you should ever, or like becoming not super focused on your work at times just so you can end up talking with some of your people you're working with, or what's that like?
Yeah, like I'm basically with the client that I'm working with, like if I don't talk to them every day, it's like every other day or every like, so I'm not like just doing my stuff and then bring them the projects that they ask for 2 months later or 3 months later. Like I'm very well connected with them, so that I think as soon as it's kept it this way, I don't feel like I'm just like, I'm working by myself somewhere doing something and just giving it like as a project.
Okay, yeah. Within the business right now, what are some of the main things you want to improve? Like you already said that you're trying to maybe expand lead generation a little bit there, but is there anything else that you like metrics that you want to improve? Maybe your conversion rates on like the sales and connecting with other businesses. Like what's going on there?
Yeah, I think this is one of the point, and the other one, which is like on an. So I'm also like basically when I do the prediction for them, if this is like something that they ask for me to do, like I want also to expand my investor network because my main objective at the end is like to find for them like the correct investors that match like their needs and what not just the amount but also the kind of capital that they need and how and why. And this is where I'm kind of still struggling a bit because like it's not, like I said, my background is not in finance and I was not a CFO, so it's not a lot of people that I know in that sector, but like I'm starting to, get touch somewhere, so that's pretty good. And what is great with that is like I'm not in the company that I'm helping, so if I try to match people, it's because I think like this investor and my client are a good fit, because it's just I'm not my client and I'm not the investor, so my only goal is like to find like a perfect match for them.
Got it, yeah. And you were mentioning like the finance side can still sometimes be a bit of a struggle. How have you gotten over that and gotten past the learning curve there?
I think it's like putting my hand onto it, like it's like doing the mechanic myself and not just like watching. And I also had like a very good experience at my previous company. Like I was like there were like CFO that was helping us, so I learned everything from there. And I kept like learning, self-learning. Like there's a lot of now you can pretty much access everything if you have interest in, and like it's just a matter of like taking the time to do it and always like not take everything like okay this is how we do it, just challenge myself and like ask questions to others who can know better and like tell them like is that the correct way to do it. And now I'm in a pace like with what I'm doing I'm confident enough to do it by myself, but of course if I expand on a different sector like retail or something like this, I will have to also learn this like mechanics. But I think today, which is great, is like you can learn pretty much everything if you just like once.
Have you found yourself teaming up with any other consultants or people within those industries, like let's say retail, where you don't know much at first, but rather than teaching yourself, you decide to work with them a little bit and learn from them, pick their brain? Or do you find yourself doing it all on your own?
No, this is like I guess this is a path where I want to go next. But it's like I said, it's been just a year, so I take it like one step at a time. I want to really build that network and that confidence into like with my clients, so I can get more through that, and then when I will be ready, I can expand in other direction. But I just want to go too fast because I just think it's not the good way to do it. Because yeah, it's working pretty well right now, so I just want to keep going that, and then I can think about more.
Got
But I
it.
will do it with like meeting with people and like learning from them, like maybe some partnership somewhere somehow, and then go from there.
Yeah, definitely. Like I'm me personally right now, it's something I want to start doing is like networking a little bit more with other business owners and trying to see if I can help them or they can help me, like build a relationship that way. Have you started ever going to any events like that thing, or sorry, that was very unspecific, but have you decided to go like to any events, or is that something you plan on doing in the future to building your network there?
Yeah, I started to do that. So there's like different things that I'm attending, and I will keep attending, and I will add more in the future. Um, it's just something like I guess you have to push yourself to do because it always like it takes some time and it also takes time of your work time to do it, but it's very valuable. Like I was at one event basically yesterday and you meet so many different people, not specifically related to your business, but like it's interesting to see how they do their business and how they grow there and like where they want to be, and like it's always like kind of open-minded.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, this whole business world sort of is newer to me too. But just seeing how people conduct themselves in different ways and how they approach business, like, there's so many different creative avenues to grow what you've built.
Yeah, no, there's like I can grow either adding more sectors or like adding more from A to Z, because for now like I met someone, for example, yesterday was doing like the same thing, but he was also like just taking the client and telling them, okay, no, actually you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that business even. So it's very early, it's just the company doesn't even yet exist and people come to him and say like, do you want, like, what do you think, should I do it or not? So it's like market analysis, like, and it helps them figure out if there is a real market for what they want to build, which is also an interesting thing to look around. But again, like it's a matter of time, I guess, and because it's just me right now, I also need to make sure that I have enough time to allocate to my clients, the clients that I have right now, so I can give them like what they hire me for.
Within your business today, what are some repetitive tasks that you deal with over and over that you wish you could eliminate or just potentially delegate elsewhere for you to focus on the more meaningful things?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think there is some, like one of the ones that I was actually thinking about is like data connection. Like each time I have to basically take the data that they have coming from one app or another, or one system or another, and connect them mainly in Power BI because this is a tool that I'm using for dashboards. And there's like a lot of repetition there. And so I started to, actually I work with two of my clients pretty much the same way. So I started to make it like, oh, okay, so maybe I can use the one that I did and like see if I can change a bit the code and like make it kind of a template for me to reuse. But it's not this easy when you're just grabbing data. You don't have to redo from the beginning, but it's still like you cannot just take it and plug it. There's always like something that you need to change behind. So this is, and of course accounting is like, but I would be happy to delegate like accounting from my stuff, but I'm not big enough now that I cannot handle that, and especially I did it for 30 people company, so I can do it for one person company. So this is not the first thing that I will delegate, but definitely thinking about that. And the leads generation, this is something, once I'm growing, this is the first thing that I'm gonna delegate to someone, because I'm not really a sales person. I prefer people to talk for me.
Yeah. You like doing the hands-on, the engineering, the technical kind of work?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, got it, yeah. And I know you said you want to delegate like the lead generation, all that sort of stuff, but are you thinking about different marketing channels within the next year to help you grow? Has there been anything on your mind?
Not really. I didn't think about it yet this much to have an idea, but there's different companies that actually approach me and saying like, okay, we can do that for you. We can basically be your background. Nobody will know we're there, and like we can generate leads for you, like even write for you in LinkedIn, etc., etc. I don't think I'm ready yet for that, but this may be the first approach, I guess.
Okay, got it, yeah. And within the next year, where do you see LM Power Drops growing to? What's the goal you have in mind?
That's a very good question. I see it like in a year from now, to be honest with you, I see it pretty much the same way with one or maybe one more client, maybe two, but I see it like more, I'm kind of thinking about what about a partner with a fractional CFO type. And so we can really be like the operation and finance and bring like all power into that. So this may be the next step. But again, I don't want to partner with, I need to take the time to make sure what kind of profile I need and what that will look like and what value I can bring with that to my clients, either existing or future.
Mm-hmm. Got it, yeah. Laetitia, thank you so much for joining us today. Where can our audience find you online?
Say it again, sorry?
Where could our audience find you online? Like LinkedIn? Website?
Yeah, LinkedIn mainly. I don't have website because I don't really need it, so it's my LinkedIn. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us.
No, thank you for your time. I appreciate that.